What's up guys, today I explain you One Piece, how Loki will destroy the world, explained. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe this channel, because we are close to hit the 1200 followers and now have fun with the video. Loki was introduced in One Piece chapter 1130. In this chapter, fans finally saw the Straw Hat Pirates step foot on the real Elbaf, after escaping from the detention center, or, in other words, the Block City. As soon as the Straw Hat stepped foot outside, Luffy felt a strange presence. In fact, according to Luffy, this presence was so strong that he started getting goosebumps. Zoro and Sanji stayed behind, while Luffy went to look for this presence and eventually came across an absolutely monstrous giant. At the same time, Oda used the Giants of Elbaf to give more exposition to the character of Loki. Apparently, Loki was always known to be a mischievous and, more importantly, very evil person. He committed one heinous crime after another and, eventually, was sentenced to crucifixion. As to what led to his crucifixion, fans don't know exactly, but it is heavily implied that Loki got the sentence after he killed his own father. His father, King Harald, ruled over Elbaf and was in possession of a very powerful devil fruit. This fruit was legendary in nature, and that is precisely why Loki had set his eyes on it, given that he considers himself to be the sun god and the wielder of this legendary fruit. Loki successfully killed Harald and ate this devil fruit, which gave him immense strength. To subdue Loki and prepare him for his crucifixion, the entirety of Elbaf had to unite their strength, which eventually led to him being tied up in the Rocky Mountains at the very base of the country. That is precisely where Luffy met Loki in One Piece chapter 1130, and fans could see that Loki was a menacing individual. Even though he's tied up and severely weakened, Loki is confident in his abilities and believes himself to be the sun god who will destroy the world. This implies that Loki believes that he will be freed from his chains at some point. Furthermore, just for the sake of the story, Loki absolutely has to be released at some point, which, as has been implied so far, will be the trigger for Ragnarok. Of course, fans need to know how Loki can destroy the world. Being able to do that isn't something small. The fact is that Loki doesn't just believe this himself. All the Giants of Elbaf clearly stated that if Loki is ever released from his chains, he will destroy the world. This means that they have had a first-hand taste of his powers, and truly believe that Loki can go on to destroy the entirety of Elbaf, and with that, the rest of the world as well. The thing fans need to keep in mind is that no individual, no matter how strong they are, can destroy the world in One Piece unless they hold the Gura no Mi, which is a world-destroying power, or are connected to one of the three ancient weapons in some way. For instance, Whitebeard's devil fruit was said to hold the power to sink the entire world. Similarly, the ancient weapons can all destroy the world if utilized, which means Shirahoshi, Aimu, and one other unknown individual are the only ones who can sink the world as things stand. Blackbeard is another individual, due to having the power of the Gura no Mi, and now, Loki has been thrown into the mix. Given that this claim is quite valid, as it is backed up by the giants, Loki must have a very powerful devil fruit. The only conclusion that one can come to is that Loki's devil fruit grants him godly powers. Given that Loki believes himself to be the sun god, it is obvious that his fruit gives him the powers of a godly entity, which means that it could be a version of the Hito no Mai. Just as Luffy has the power of the Nika fruit, Loki could have a power related to Nika, which gives him the misconception that he is the sun god. Or, Loki has the power of another godly fruit that delivers immense strength to him. It is heavily implied that this legendary devil fruit is tied directly to Loki being able to destroy the world, which means that whatever fruit it is, it gives him immense power and can help him destroy the world. Loki's devil fruit could have incredible destructive force, similar to the Gura no Mi, which can sink entire islands. Perhaps, Loki can wipe out islands from the face of the earth using his godly powers, or he can channel his strength in unconventional ways, such as controlling some natural force and using it to destroy the world. Regardless, Loki can destroy the world using his devil fruit, which is something that Luffy has to stop at any cost. More importantly, there exists the possibility that Loki will not destroy the world, because he could potentially be misinterpreting a prophecy. The thing is, Loki and all the giants of Elbaf worship the sun god. The sun god itself was a figure who spread laughter and joy to wherever he went, and freed people from their chains. Loki must know this, and the fact that he calls himself to be the sun god must mean that he sees himself in a good light. Loki's claim of destroying the world could potentially stem from a misinterpreted prophecy which, to him, means that he needs to destroy the world. In reality, this prophecy could be more about the sun god and destroying the world order created by the founding 20 after the fall of the ancient kingdom. This world order needs to be destroyed. Similar to how Luffy is projected to destroy Fishman Island at some point, he has to do something similar to the rest of the world as well, more in a symbolic sense, because the world government's control over the world must be shattered. Perhaps, to Loki, this came off as something else entirely, and since he believes himself to be the sun god, he thinks he has to destroy the world. As such, Loki will not destroy the world in one piece if he realizes that Luffy is the sun god and may potentially even side with him. The one threatening the destruction of Elbaf and the world is likely going to be Imu, as fans might find out later on in this arc.